So this morning, we're both pretty wiped out. It's not because we've ridden a massive amount of Ks. It's because we treated ourselves to a massive pizza last night with a stuffed crust. And we just both woke up a little bit lethargic because of it. I think we went a little bit overboard last night. Ate a little bit too much. We pulled up here last night. It was raining. It was raining this morning still. And it's just starting to clear now. I'm looking out the window and I'm seeing the mist rise over the mountains. It's just about to stop raining. Still a little bit of wet out there falling. But yeah, it's all worked out nicely. But the weather's clearing, we're good to go soon, so let's get going.
Okay, so it's 10:20, a little bit of a later start today. We are just riding out of Huánuco. Today's plan is to head to Tama. Tama is showing 244 k's away. I'm not quite sure that we're going to make it there in one day. We'll have to see. The last 2 days riding, we haven't actually made 180 k's. I think we've done 160 and about 170 k's. So this might be a 2-dayer to get to Tama. We'll see what these road conditions are like. They're a little bit of a mixed bag. Now the goal is still to keep riding south and head towards Nazca and then Ica. So we've still got a little bit of riding before we get there. I think we've still got about 800 odd k's until we're in that region. So we've got a few days ride ahead of us yet until we get there.
Oh, just policeman very close to my left. There's no such things as lanes in these parts of Peru.
So we just pulled in for a little bathroom break. And while we're here, I looked across at Hayley's bike and I just saw this little puddle. I'll show you now, I'll spin this around. I saw this little puddle underneath her bike here from mine, and it is, unfortunately, it's the fork seal's leaking. And look at all of that that's in there. All that mud yesterday, and it's like quite gritty, sandy mud. Must have got in there and just opened up that seal a little bit. Hopefully we can clean it,
and hopefully not too much of the fluid has come out.
It wasn't like that this morning when we were
No,
in the garage. It's only now I've noticed it. So
but a lot is coming out.
A lot's coming out, yeah. We'll clean it off. We've got the little fork doctor tool. We'll give that a clean up in there. Might be able to salvage it. So yeah, let's have a look at Hayley's bike and try and fix it. So I just pulled this fork guard forward a little bit, wipe to start with, because there is a load of rubbish underneath there. So we've done over 27,000 k's now on this trip. And this is actually the first little problem with Hayley's bike that's occurred that doesn't involve her crashing it and breaking something. The first little mechanical issue, but I think he's done pretty well. These little Hondas are great. Great bikes.
Or Hayley's great. You choose.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad now. He cleaned this all off nicely. Dropped that dust seal out, cleaned that. Cleaned all inside, cleaned the oil seal using that little fork doctor. Seems alright. I pushed up and down on it a few times. It's not leaking any more oil now for the time being. We'll just have to see if we fixed it or if it's actually a full-time problem, and the seals are gone. Might have just been a little bit of grit or dirt in there, or the seals might be on their way out. But we've done what we can do for now, and only time will tell, I suppose. So we've covered about 80k so far on this 3N road. It's not the most fun. It's just lorries, buses, and loads of little tuk-tuks. But yeah, lots of weaving, lots of trucks trying to take you out, riding your tail really close.
Seems to be market day here, whatever town we're riding through. Just further back there was a load of people selling stuff from the back of their cars, and there was about 12 dead, looked very freshly killed pigs. We're riding the same road as we did yesterday, yet it is very different. Very, very populated, loads of lorries. It's strange, isn't it, seeing these towns on landscape like this where there's just nothing, and then you just see little plots of towns dotted around. And Matt is a little bit further ahead because we're at such a high altitude and my bike is not that fast, so he's missed the crossing. Cows, sheep, dogs, very orderly. Matt's gonna, whoa, this is exactly what I mean about Peruvian drivers. I mean, no disrespect to Peruvians, but I don't know any other nation that drives like that. They go on your side of the road, even though you're approaching, they don't care. It's like it's your problem, not theirs. And there's nowhere else for you to go. It's just, you're always on edge. Absolutely mental.
So we just got pulled over by the police. Just a normal stop. Are you good to go, Hayley?
Yeah.
They're waving us on. And they asked us for our SOAT, which is I think is a compliment. What's the word I'm looking for?
I believe it's like a liability
insurance. Yes.
Ciao.
So in case you have an accident and injure someone, I'm pretty sure they're insured then. But yeah, that's the first time we've been pulled over in Peru, and the first time we've been asked for that SOAT.
Now, if riders are found not without a SOAT, they can confiscate your vehicle. So
yes.
The consequences are quite big if you don't have that document.
That's it. There's serious implications if you haven't got it. Now, we did a lot of research online to find out what insurances, documents you're going to need to go into each country as we're passing through them, because it changes. And yeah, we found out that in Peru you need this SOAT. So we organised that before we crossed over, and we've had that for the whole time we've been in Peru. We've also got another insurance. I can't remember the name of it. It might be Mercosur, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's just another liability insurance, but that covers us throughout a handful of South American countries like Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. So that's another one that carries through from all of those countries, but SOAT, this one is just applicable in Peru. I think there's some other ones when we'll go to Ecuador and Colombia as well, but we'll sort those out before we cross in there. But yeah, there's a few things to bear in mind when crossing over from border to border, to make sure you're all legal and you're up to date, because there are, like Hayley said, serious consequences if you don't have those things in place.
Alright, we're in Tama.
We made it to Tama.
Before it got dark.
I wonder where go in. See how we go. It's beautiful building, nice. It's an old colonial building. I'll just show you around. We've got this huge room, just settling in. Lots of space, bathroom, TV, place for storing our gear. And I'll just show you out the door a bit. Now, just outside our room, you've got this courtyard. We're on the first floor. There's no one in any of these rooms. You can see the mountains. It's just getting dark now, but you can see the mountains over there. You've got this beautiful garden underneath us. Huge hotel. Absolutely massive. And I've seen another couple here, so I'd say there's probably maybe 30, 40 rooms, and 2 of them might be taken. It's a little bit noisy in our room at the moment. We've got this big window. Hopefully we can shut these and make it a little bit quieter. It's very beepy, see? It's very beepy at the moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, tuk-tuk, another tuk-tuk. We've got a little intersection here. Hopefully it calms down a little bit later and we get a quiet night. Yeah, so what we've decided is we're going to stay here for 2 nights. We've just done 3 days riding, and we're going to take 2 nights here, spend a day off tomorrow. We've worked out that it's our perfect game plan, really, because then we don't get too tired. And we're getting a little bit more tired, easier now. We've been traveling on this trip for 7 months. So we're starting to get a little bit travel weary. So Hayley's getting a little bit more tired than me. You can probably see it now with the lack of words that are coming out. You can tell when Hayley's getting tired because she doesn't really talk too much. She goes a little bit quiet.
It's good for you anyway.
It's good for me, but it's definitely a noticeable sign of her tiredness. So yeah, look, we'll stay here for 2 nights. We'll chill, have a chill day tomorrow, and rest and recoup and get some good food and get some good sleep.
Morning. We left rather abruptly this morning. Matt and I were just not quite seeing eye to eye on a few things. So we're, kind of left a little bit salty with each other. These things happen when you're stuck with one person, especially if you don't speak the local language fluently. The reality is that it's just you two. There's no one else. So tensions can be high at times. It doesn't happen that often, but it does tend to happen more so when we're tired, and I feel like we're getting a little bit of that like long-term tiredness because we've been on the road for 7-8 months. So inevitably there's going to be a few little disagreements here and there. So we left, in Matt's words, I want to get on my bike because that's what makes me happy. So I was like, yeah, let's crack on, and hopefully he'll be in a better mood with me in the next few hours.
Now from Tama, where we are, our first stop is going to be Paracas. We've had a few reviews from other people about the place, and there's a lot of nature, wildlife. Apparently there's lots of sea lions, bird life around the dunes, and there's good national parks and wildlife there. So we're going to ride down to Paracas. That's what I've got punched into my GPS. It's 480 k's away, but it's saying 9.5 hours. So it's going to be a 2-day ride getting down there. We've not planned anywhere to stay tonight. We'll just see how we go. See how we're feeling, seeing how fatigued we get. I'm looking forward to getting to Paracas. It looks lovely, it looks really nice. And then we'll take a couple of days there, enjoying the area. So I'm definitely not on my A game today. So I'll bear that in mind. Try and stop earlier. Try and find somewhere to stay that's quiet, and then just ride nice and conservatively today. The GPS is taking us on this route I plotted it all in nicely this morning on the phone and the Garmin. Unfortunately, there's been a couple of roads that the Garmin told us to go down and there wasn't actually a road there. The amount of kilometers we've got till we get to Paracas is actually going up at the moment. We've ended up climbing, we're over 4,000 meters, and we're going through all these little mountain villages. It's great riding, it's really nice. The chase is on. Oh, there's loads of them. Got a pack after me. Come on, guys. So yeah, I might have to pull over and have a little look at the map. Here we go again. Stay there. Yeah, I ran Google Maps this morning on the phone, and that's just completely lost its way. Even though I've got maps downloaded, I might switch that to Osmond because that's quite a bit more reliable. It's got a lot more tracks and trails on it. Here we go again. Would you be in Peru if you weren't getting chased by dogs every 10 minutes? So we've got a tired looking, not so impressed Hayley. What's going on?
Well, we just pulled over because we were trying to figure out where to go because our map's playing up. And Matt noticed that the other fork seal is leaking. But annoyingly, it's on the left-hand side where the front brake is. So we're going to have to try and clean that now. And yeah.
Yeah, it looks like this one's leaking now as well. It's coming all down by the front brake. You can see the other one's still leaking a little bit. I'm not in the best humour to be doing this morning. But we got to do it. Let's have a look at it. Let's try and stop it leaking a little bit at least.
Much coming off of it?
There's a bit coming out of there, yeah. There is.
It's not so easy taking the guard off on this side because there's a bolt sort of underneath, and the only way to take the bolt off is if you take the wheel off, which
we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that, so we just moved it slightly forward. And it's enough space for Matt to get his fingers in and try and clean it.
It's just full of grit everywhere around here. Sandy grit.
As clean as it can get.
As good as we're going to get on the road, I think.
Until we get new fork seals.
Yeah, until we get new fork seals. But that won't happen until... We won't be able to find any until we get to Lima. No chance, I would say. We just have to keep it going as good as we can. I'd say we're going to be doing this quite a few times.
I remember when your fork seals went bad, and it was like a daily thing that you had to keep checking and cleaning, and
yeah.
So
I'd say these are gone. There's no saving these. It's just prolonging the inevitable.
yeah. Well, hopefully it's not saturated my front brake too much.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed when we were just riding up there, but I do use my back brake a lot of the time, so
Yeah, once that fork oil gets onto the pads, the pads are pretty screwed.
I think this is a sign that Matt actually still loves me, deep down. Isn't it?
I just don't want your bike slowing me down.
No. It's 'cause this is how you show that you love me.
Yeah,
Isn't that right?
that's true.
Let's be friends now.
We're never not friends. We're just grumpy and tired with each other.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's any saving those fork seals on Hayley's bike. They need changing. We're just going to have to try our best to keep cleaning them and hold as much oil in as we can. We've got to check the map as well, and we're going to join this road and stay on this for a little bit, and then I think we're going to join a slightly bigger one. It might be paved. On a better note, I do feel a little bit more with it now we've stopped and fiddled about with her bike.
Some pretty rocky stuff here. We're a little bit high in altitude, so I'm having to rev this in first.
Some bits are a little bit tricky. We're dropping down second gear and some bits are a little bit technical. The majority of it's like this, fairly smooth, free-flowing stuff with a few little rocks you have to watch out for. But we find ourselves back over 4,500 meters. Now, wow, look at those hills. They're hardly hills, more like mountains. Whoa. I might wait here just to slow Hayley down so she doesn't have a over the handlebars moment. Oh good. I'm just cracking on and I just see the little headlight of the Honda behind me. Hayley just gets on with it. I am impressed. I'm so impressed with how she's done on this trip. Like, she struggles a little bit more than me with getting tired, and that's fair enough. I've ridden for a lot longer than her. She tires out a little bit earlier than I do, but honestly the majority of the time she just cracks on with it, and I just see the little Honda following me in my wing mirrors all the time. It's a nice feeling, it's a really nice feeling. But yeah, she's getting on great. We thought today was going to be a bit more of a transit day. We've done a little bit on the road this morning to make up some Ks, and then we found these trails. Superb. Look at this now over the brow of this. Oh yeah. Wow. Look at that. I'm going to go down these switchbacks down there alongside that lake. This is very Peru Great Divide-esque, isn't it?
It is, very much so. Back in your happy place now.
Oh, I'm back in my happy place. This has definitely taken me from like morale out of 10. I was probably on morale number 3 today.
Oh.
I don't know if I've actually felt so worn out and down on this trip as I did this morning. But I've just gone back up to about a 7 or an 8.
Oh, wow.
Because of this ride and this scenery.
What a roller coaster for you.
A roller coaster day for sure.
So we just pulled into a town just then, tried to find accommodation, nothing had any secure parking. We then noticed that this route is part of the Peru Great Divide. Now, a town that we had stayed at for a couple of nights, a place called Laos, is only about just under 10 k's away from here, and the place we stayed at was really good, had a bit of Wi-Fi, and it even had a little kitchen that we were able to use to cook food. So given that Matt's quite tired today, I'm also a little bit tired, we've come to the decision of taking a little detour and going to that town and staying there. Sometimes when we're both feeling like this, just going somewhere that's easy, like a place that we've already stayed at, you know, a place that we're familiar with, is sometimes what we need. But yeah, we're gonna head there and spend the night there and then do the next leg tomorrow. It's actually been a really, really nice ride today. A bit of variation. We've had the trails, paved roads, going through these beautiful valleys. It's been really nice. So there's the town up there, Lararos.
It feels good. It feels very good.
It's been a long day for you, isn't it?
It's been a long day for me, yeah, I'll admit it. I've struggled a little bit. But this is just perfect. This is like the icing on the cake at the end of the day. You know what you're getting. You know it's quiet. You know you're going to sleep well. We can use the kitchen so we can cook what we want. Well, we can cook our vegetables and pasta. Some eggs.
Okay, let's find the lady.